So welcome to BISP Solution. The webinar title is Get Started with Oracle Supply Chain and Manufacturing. So let's move to the today's session, agenda of the today's session. So that will be a walkthrough of Oracle Fusion SCM basic configurations. That is in the, this is not a D9, yeah, it's a D9, and the agenda will be a basic configurations, that is basic purchasing configurations. Then we will go through the accounting payables setup with the P2P cycle, and the purchase transaction accounting builder, that is TAP, how we can create that particular purchase accounting transaction accounting builder and assign to our subledger. So we will go through that particular setups and the configurations to that. So that is payables related configurations. The first configurations that will be again is all our walkthrough, right? So that is creating a business unit location, then we create a reference data set, then we will create a business unit that will through manage business unit and assigning the business unit with the business function. So assigning the business unit with the business function, that means you assign your business unit with the activities that you want to that is you assign your legal entity with your primary ledger. Where do you assign, and apart from that, what kind of a setups you are going to do in that particular in the business unit wise, you enable that. And after that you create a payment terms, that is a payment terms you will create and assign that RDS, that is reference data set, to the business unit set assignment. So that is set assignment. There is a common set as well as the enterprise set. We will also create our own reference data set and assign that reference data set to the payment terms, and that payment terms will be assigned to that RDS, that will be assigned to the business unit set assignment. And then we will create a legislative data group, that is LDZ, that is through the manage legislative data group. Each country you have a per country one LDZ will be created, and that assign that LDZ to your legal entity, that is LE, through manage legal entity SCM information. Then we will create a employee user through manage users and create procurement agent, and then common options for payable and procurement, where your default accounts will be defaulted, and you provide that codes, that is liability, your liability account, your prepayment accounts, right? So these are the various accounts are there, that is you have to provide that code combination out there. And then we have a invoice option configurations, then payment option configurations are there, and create payment pay group. That pay group, with the pay group you can group together that payment. When you make the payment, you create the pay group from payable lookups, and create a distribution set. Distribution set is not a mandatory, but we will go through that particular distribution set also. And then set up a supplier number. You can have a this is very required one. When you create a supplier, the supplier numbering should be provided. And the fresh instance also, you will provide that one, it is a one-time activity, and you will provide that number, and then only you can able to create the supplier, right? So then we will create a bank branches and create bank account through manage banks, bank branches, and bank account manage bank accounts. So, and we will provide the job role and assign the data access. The rules are, that is accounts payable manager, accounts payable specialist, accounts payable supervisor, and for the bank related activities for making a payment, that is cash manager as the role, right? So that is the cash manager. And after that, these are the some of the payables P2P basic configurations. That is, first you have to enable for P2P procurement. You have to take offerings that is related to your procurement, the offerings, everything you need to manage the procurement process during the requisition and purchase order and supply negotiation. That's why you take the procurement offerings. The material management and logistics, create the define the inventory, item inventory. The product management, how to create the manage items, catalogs, related process structures and support, receipts account, purchase item cost, accounting of the financial reports, and the product profitability managers out there. And the manufacturing and supply chain material management out there, we configure the process, support the manufacturing, maintenance of inventory, shipping, receiving, supply chain marginal accounting, supply chain financial orchestration, supply chain orchestration, and supply chain collaboration you do out here. And you maintain your sub inventory also in this particular one, right? So that is your offering you will take. And these are the some of the P2P basic configurations, right? So assigning the business unit with the business function, then you go to the manage facilities and create the facilities, then manage the workday pattern, and you provide the whatever the facilities you create, you assign to the workday pattern. And the workday pattern is again assigned when you create the schedules. That schedules you will assign to the inventory organization. You create a one item organization, that is your virtual organization. And you also create a location, that is a manage locations if your warehouse is a different from your business unit, right? So that is business unit and location is different from the warehouse location, then you provide that particular manage locations, right? So that manage locations. And in the inventory organization, that is your child inventory org, where you define your business unit, assign your business unit. With the business unit you assign your primary ledger, and so as the legal entity is also assigned with that. And configure the procurement business unit business functions. Okay, let's go with the in the application and take a walkthrough of that. So let me open the Excel sheet. Here we are. So let's start with the basic configurations, that is manage locations, right? Let me navigate to the let me open the from setting and action, navigate to the setup and maintenance, manage implementation project, overview the project, select your project. Let's search with the task name is, that is manage locations, right? So let me search with the manage locations. This is the task name, right? The manage location. Let me go to this one, manage locations, search with that. So manage locations, select any one of that task. So manage locations, go to task icon, search with the A to Z, right? A to Z. So this is the one location that will be my business unit, that is A to Z. This is A to Z tracks location 02, and there is a location 101, right? So that location will be used. One will be for my business unit, another one for my warehouse, location 2, right? So that two locations I have created. So if I go to this particular one, let me edit this, let's say correct it down. So you can see the name I provided, so as the code, so as the description, and the address out here, right? So that address I have provided, and the ship to location and site will be the same, and the shipping site yes, and receiving site also yes, billing site is yes, and this is my official site also. Okay, so done with that. And similar to that, the location 2 I have created, and this is my location, A to Z warehouse TX, location 02. So this is a Los Angeles, California, that is the location, and where the ship to location is there, receiving location there, and the bill to site is also, an official site is also there, right? So done with that. After location, we will go to the manage reference data set, that is RDS, right? So let me select the reference data set. So manage reference data set, let me select one of the tasks from here. So manage reference data sets, go to task icon, let's search with A to Z. If you see, this is the two set I have created. One is the A to Z US set, that is A to Z US payment set, and another one is the A to Z customer site, that is a customer site. I will use this one for my creating customer, that is customer reference data set. So this is related to my US payments, right? So that is a one business unit. So let's search with the manage business unit, right? So let's search with the manage business unit. So if you go to the manage business unit out here, go to task icon, select the manage business unit. So my business unit is A to Z, search it down. So this is the business unit, and if I edit this one, so the name I provided A to Z USBU1, I provided this particular location 1, right? So that location 1 I have provided to this particular business unit, and the default set, it is using the common set out here. After creating the reference data set, and we will go with the assigning business unit with the business function, business unit with the business function. Let me go to task icon, that is A to Z, search with that. So this is the select and save and close. So you can see this is the financial reporting where your business unit is assigned to your legal entity, and so as the primary ledger, right? So that is a financial reporting, how you do that. And these are the I have enabled. So for P2P cycle, we required receiving, requisition, procurement, uh, material management. These things we required. That is are the mandatory. Then only then the payable invoice processing. Yes, we required that, and the payables payments also, right? So that payables payment also related to payments, we required this should be enabled. Then only we will able to do the setups related to that, right? So that is assigning all business functions at the business unit will perform, right? Save and close. So each business unit you have to define. If you have 100 business unit, then you have to define the 100 business unit. Then we created the payment terms, the manage payment terms. Go to the manage payment terms, search with the payment terms. So that is configure the payment terms out here. Go to the payment terms, go to task icon. So if you see out here, that is immediate. If I select the immediate, this is the immediate payment terms with the due is 100% with a 0 date, and I assign that out here, that is A to Z. Let me search with the A to Z. Yeah, this is the A to Z out here, that is A to Z set I have provided. So it is assigned out here. Similar to that, and save and close. So in the case of 210, so 210 net 30, I assign this particular A to Z US set. In the 21020, 100% payment should be received within the 30 days, and the 2% discount will be allowed with if it is paid within the 10 days, right? So that discount you allow up to 3 level you can provide the discount, that is first discount, second discount, and third discount, right? So that is 2% discount within paid within the 10 days. And save and close, assigning my RDS out here. And end of the month also, end of the month, if I go to the end of the month, so that payment will 100% payment to be made by the 31st, that is the end of the month. And you will assign that particular business unit. Yeah, that is my reference data set out here, right? So this is the my reference data set, A to Z US set. I assign that, right? That is save and close. After assigning this payment terms, I will go to the manage set assignments, right? Go to the manage set assignments. So go to the manage set assignments out here, manage set assignments, just a minute, that is manage business unit set assignment, right? Go to the business unit set assignment, that is the business unit set assignment, business unit set assignment. Go to task icon, select your business unit set assignment. So select that, select your business unit A to Z, search it down, select that, save and close. So out here I provided the payment terms, right? Payment term, search with the payment, not payment, payables payment terms. Out here I provided that particular reference data set, right? So that reference data set I assigned to the payment terms, right? So that payment terms I assigned to this particular business unit, right? So this business unit as assigned with this particular, when the payment terms is used, that reference object is used. Save and close. Then manage legislative data group, right? So that is LDZ. So search with the, that is manage legislative data group. Go to task icon, manage legislative data group, select that, search with the US. So that is a US legislative data group. So if you see, this is the legislative data group name I provided, the state country as the United States. So the system automatically select the US dollars out here. The cost structure is related to your SCM related activity roles. So send done. Then we have to assign this to our legal entity, right? So that is the next one, the manage legal entity SCM information. So if you go to this manage legal entity SCM information, this is the, it is already in the selected scope. Go to task icon. So if you go to this particular payroll, you will assign out here that associate your legislative data group with this legal SCM information, right? So that is your business, your legal entity is assigned with your legislative data group. That is your country, which country you have defined. That is your United States we had defined out there. Save and close. And after that we will create manage users. Through manage users we will create the users, right? So go to the manage users. So go to task icon, go to select your manage users out here. So that is the Steve's, right? Search with the jobs, search with the jobs, that is the Steve jobs, right? I created, right? Select that. So name I provided, the job, the Steve, and the name, the email ID, and the hiring date, that hiring date, and the phone number I provided, that is optional out here. The username, that is Steve Jobs, it is active, and the person is should be employee, it should be employee, then only he will able to work on the subledger module, right? So that is employee, and you will select the label employer until unless you you assign your legal entity to LDC, that then only you able to select this particular a legal employer, right? So that is why you able to select this legal employer, that is A to Z US legal entity 1, and the business unit attached to this particular legal entity you will assign out here. So then save and close. Save and close. After assigning this particular one, then we will go to the manage procurement agent, right? So go to the manage procurement agent. So this is the procurement agent. Go to task icon. So manage procurement agent. So out here you can see this is my business unit, this is my procurement agent. So this is the agent name, so the job Steve's and the default business unit, right? If I edit this one, you can provide the procurement business unit, that is A to Z US business unit, the agent name. This should be employee user, right? So then only you will able to select out here, and the default requisition business unit, right? So that should be active, status should be active. And if you want to access the other agent documents, if you want, then you can say full view. Full you want, then he can make changes to that particular one. None you will select, you will not able to access to the other agent documents also, right? So that kind of a requirement you have, accordingly you will enable that particular full view, or say view, or say none, right? And save and close. So what kind of activity he can do with the procurement agent, that is he can manage the requisition, he can manage the purchase order, he can manage the purchase agreement, manage negotiation, manage sourcing program, he can sourcing program, and manage the supplier qualification also, manage compliances checklist out here. That these are the activities he can do. So let me go to this common options for payables and procurements. Let me get this particular one, search with that common options for, go to task icon. So select your business unit, select and go to task icon. So A to Z, just select the business unit, save and close. So you can see these the default distribution account, and you have to provide, that is asterisk mark. You can see these are the mandate fields, that is liability, prepayment, conversion rate variance gain, the conversion rate variance loss, the discount taken. These are the mandate fields out here. And you got offset, accounting offset account, I selected as all segment except natural account. One time payment, if you follow with the one time activity, then you will have to provide this liability and the expenses account out here. So we will not go with the one time payment activity, that is for currency conversion you required a conversion rate type, that will be a defaulted, that will be your corporate out here I selected, and require the conversion rate entry at the time of conversion rate entry, and you will provide the realized gain distribution and realized loss distribution to that. So you can see these are the asterisk mark out here, right? And you can see the expense accrual in the expense accrual at the time of receipt or the period end. So I selected the period end out here, and so as my bill to location to this particular business, right? So if you see the bill to location, I defaulted as my location 1, right? So that location 1 I defaulted, that is my Washington. Save and close. Then we will go with the manage invoice options, right? So manage invoice options. So manage invoice options, go to the invoice options out here, select your business unit. So let me search with the A to Z. search it down. So this is the business unit I will select, and out here the invoice entry. At the time of a invoice entry required invoice grouping, then you will enable that. When you entering the any invoices, you require to group the invoice, that will be enabled. Then you have to force to enable that, and allow the document category override if you want. Then you check this one, allowed adjustment to the paid invoice if you want, then you enable that. Allow the remittance to the supplier overriding the third party payments, then you can enable that. Recalculate the invoice installments, hold unmatched invoices. If you going with the P2P cycle, then any without PO you can't create an invoice, that will put on a hold out here. So enable the invoice accounting code flow, I enable that. So deletion of the invoice attached, prevent deletion, that means it will prevent the deletion of the any invoice attachment. If you check this one, evaluate the duplicate invoice, hold during the validation. Any duplicate invoice if you try to enter during the validation, it will hold, right? So it will evaluate and put a hold out there. And the default currency that will be in my invoice option, it will be my US dollars. Since it is business unit, it is attached to my US primary ledger, right? So that is US primary ledger. So that is A to Z US primary ledger. And this is my payment currency default. And so as the pay group I created, that is a standard one. And the pay priority is 99, and the payment terms is immediate I selected. You can select the payment terms as we define, that is 2/10/30 end of the month, and immediate. So that is payment terms are selected. You can change to this 2/10/30, right? So the invoice date, the term date will be based on the invoice date. You got a invoice date, good receipt date, invoice receipt date, and system date, right? So I was selecting the invoice date out here. And the pay due base, what will be the pay due base? That will be a discount date or due date. I'm selecting the discount. And the accounting date basis, what will the accounting date basis, whether it will be invoice date, goods received or invoice date, good received or system date, invoice date as say system date. So I selected the invoice date. Budget date basis will be accounting date or invoice date or system date. I said that it will be based on the accounting. And if I go to this one, matching, you can provide the matching rules, and the say quantity tolerance you can provide, and the amount tolerance you can provide. So that is I have not provided, that is allow final matching, allow the matching distribution override, transfer the PO distribution to additional information, that is any additional information you want to transfer, then it will be transferred to the PO. Discount, it exclude from taxes, exclude the tax from the calculation related to your discount, exclude freight from calculation of discount, right? So that you will enable that freight and the tax will be excluded. Always take discount means that is when you make the payment, first it will look for a discount related invoices where you can take the maximum discount out here. The discount allocation, how you going to allocate in all invoice line or tax line and the single distribution or a single distribution. So if you want all invoice line, it will go with the all invoice line or say single distribution. And out here the prepayment, that is when you make the prepayment or say advance payment to any supplier or vendor, you require to provide the payment term should be immediate only, right? And the settlement date is 0, and the available prepayment during the invoice entry you should enable this, then only you will apply. The bell icon will appear when you are entering the invoice and when you do the validate of that particular invoice, right? So as you save that particular invoice, and then you will able to view that any advance or say prepayment amount is with the supplier or a vendor. Now moving to the approval, if you go with the approval, you can enable the approval. If you want to force approval, then you can have a force approval. And if you enable the approval, so that will be required validation before the approval. That is, you should first approve, then you able to do the validation. And if you check this one, required validation, then it will go for before approval. And there is a accounting preference, that is account regardless of a approval status, whether it is approved or not approved, it will, you can do create accounting, right? You can create accounting. And required accounting before approval, that means that you had to create accounting, that you have to create accounting. You can do the accounting, then it will go for an approval. It is required approval before accounting. One should go with this one, right? So required approval before accounting. So if you check this one, and we will enable the force approval and required validation also. Interest, if you are any delay payments, if you make a delay payments as per the term and condition, if you make a delay payment, what the interest invoice will be generated. So that is interest expenses distribution you will provide, and the minimum interest amount you have to define out here. And that allocation will be in all invoice line or single distribution. I selected as all invoice line. Request payments, that is I selected the payment terms as immediate and pay group as a standard, and the priority out here I as a 99. This is related to self invoicing, that you provide the limit to the invoicing to the single purchase order. Allow the invoice of a backdate also. If you allow the overbilling quantity of a for the quantity based match, allow overbilling for the amount based match. If you want to allow, then you will check out those things, right? And they allow the price to quantity based matching, so that will be a price decrease only, price increase only, and price increase or decrease, it will allow the price change to the quantity based match, right? So that is required attachment, then you will select that only attached invoice will be required, right? So I uncheck that and save and close. This is related to your invoice option. Let's go to the payment options. If you go to the payment options out here, so you can see the payment options where the allow payment date before the system date. If you check this one, any payment which is, say this is today, is today's date is whatever the today's date. If you want to make a payment before that particular date, it will allow that, right? So that is allow payment date before the system date. And allow the override supplier bank site, that is if you want to override, then you can override the supply side bank account. Allow document category override, and allow the pay overriding the third party. That is, if you making a third party payments to the payee, then you should check it out. That is third party payments related activity. Accounting for the payment at the time of payment issue, at the payment time of clearing, or the payment issue or the clearing, right? So that is when you select the payment issue, and that will be accounted at the time of payment, and entry will be, it will not go for a clearing, it will directly to the cash. So that is expenses account to cash, it will be like that. And if it is go with the with the clearing, or say payment issue and the clearing, then it will go for a expenses account debit to cash clearing account, then cash clearing account will be debited, and so as the cash, right? So that will be the entry. Going to the currency conversion, so it requires the conversion rate entry with the rate conversion type as a corporate out here, right? Save and close. So next one is my payable lookups. So pay group, if you go to the manage lookups out here, and let me go to the manage. So we uses the standard, right? Standard. So standard, go to the pay group, payable lookups, go to task icon, search with the pay group, right? Search with the lookup type as a pay group. So under this pay group you can see the as a standard, right? Here is the standard. If you use the standard, it out here the standard out here, the reference is common set out here. The standard pay group you can have. Say external, you can create external. You can have external. If you can create from here, you can add on. Say external supply. External pay, right? That kind of a group you can create, right? So reference data set is my common, so that will be the common set. That set you will assign in, let me select this set out here, that is common set, and display sequence as a 1, so that display sequence you will provide, and the meaning out here, right? Pay external, right? Display sequence is optional out here. Provide the start date, right? And you will provide save and close, right? That kind of a pay group you can create. And the manage distribution set, go to the distribution set. From here you will go to the distribution set out here, manage distribution set. You can create a distribution set. So go to task icon. So we will create a one distribution set, say from plus icon. So business unit, that will be your business unit. Select that, A to Z business unit, that is internet expenses. Let's provide the internet expenses. That is a 100% distribution, that is full distribution, and one is the skeleton distribution. If you select a 0, it will be a skeleton one, and 100% is the full distribution. And from here I will add, so distribution 100%, that is say 25%, and the description I will provide the internet expenses, and I will provide the distribution combination, right? 101, that will be divided between the my sales, so that will be expenses, expense, I just go with that. Let me search any one of the expenses. Let me search if this is the internet expenses. Product I select as a none out here, the company as none out here, right? Select that. So distribution set, you can add say 25%. Let me search with this. Let me clear this one. Net expenses, so let me give this one. This will change, that is sales to marketing. Say okay. Let's add one more, that is 50, right? Let's say that will be internet net expenses, that will be again, select this one. So and this will be my administration, right? That will be an administration, 50% will go. So save and close. The expenses will be distributed according to the percentage we have provided, and this is my business unit. So that kind of a distribution set is there. So let me go to the specify supplier numbering. Go to the supplier numbering, select that any one of the tasks, go to the specify numbering out here. So right now this number will be provided, and the fresh application you will provide the number as per the client requirement, right? So whatever the client requirement you have, they will provide that numbering out here, and then save and close, right? Save and close. Then create manage banks, right? Go to the bank out here, so manage banks, search with the manage banks, go to the tax icon, manage bank out here, so search with the city, go to the city out here, that is city bank. This is the bank, that is the United States City Bank, right? The name I provided. Then view branch, go to the view branch, let me sit down, that is city bank, search with that city bank, select this one, view branch. So this is the New Jersey branch, and if you edit this one, this is New Jersey branch, save and close. And if I go to the view account, this is not the account we are searching, right? Let me go to the Citibank, right? Somebody has changed. So let's create a one bank out here. Let's manage banks, country as United States, search with the United States, US, select that. Bank name is City Bank NA, right? Citibank NA, save and close. City Bank NA, search with that. Let me search. Yeah, let's create a branch, that is Citibank. If you see a Citibank out here, the branch is New York branch. You have to provide the routing number. Let me search with the New York branch, Citibank New York, routing number, right? Select that. So this is the number, copy this, select that, save and close. That is view branch. This is the branch. Create account, right? Create account. So let's say account name, that is A to Z INC US checking account, right? Select that, provide the account number. I am providing the random number out here. The currency is USD out here. Provide the legal entity, that is my US1 legal entity. The account type is checking. It will be used, account will be used in the payables and the receivables out here. If you are implementing with the payroll, then you can check it out here. So the account clearing cash and the multi-currency, I will enable that. And the control, go to the security out here, right? Secure, select that. Secured by user, that is a username, that is Steve Jobs. Let me search with the Steve Jobs. There we are. Select that, apply, and go to the OK. You can user based or in say a role based also. Go to the business unit. So add the business unit from here. Select your business unit. Select one business unit that attached to this particular legal entity, and you can provide the document, right? So that document will be a check, and it will be a check payment, and there will be also a electronic payment, right? So electronic payment, search with the electronic, search with the electronic, that is EFT, and out here we will select the EFT out here, right? So that is EFT. Let me search, that is electronic payment out here, right? Say OK, right? Save this, go to the general, go to the payment document out here, right? Go to the payment documents and provide the check account, check stock, right? So that will be a blank stock, and I will using the format as standard format, that I will use standard format, and the document type is check payment, right? I will use the check payment, and you can provide the document number, right? So let's say 001 to, let's 121519999, right? That is the number. Add out here the checkbook, city, any random number I am giving, starting number 100 to 19999, right? And let's say OK. Let's save it. Let's view that, edit that. So you can see the total number of checks out here, number of documents are there. Save and close, right? So our bank is also created, right? So let's go to the next. We have created the bank, and we will provide the rules, that is these are the rules: payable manager rule, payable specialist rule, and the supervisor rule, and the cash management rule. I have already provided the rule to this user. If I go to the manage users, go to the manage users, go to the manage users out here, go to the manage users, go to task icon, search with the UOB jobs, search with that is the street jobs. Go and manage users. Let me go scroll little bit. Current rule, if you go to the current rule, you can see these rules has been already provided, right? So these rules already provided. Okay, so that is manual method of provisioning, right? You can automate that also, right? You can automate that. Save and close. And after providing, let's go to the P2P cycle. So first thing is to enable the offerings, right? So in the project, if you see, let me see, done. If I go to this select my project, you can see the procurement is my offering, so as my material management and logistics, manufacturing and supply chain management, and the product management. All four I have selected for my project, right? So let's what we have already gone through that particular one, right? So let's go with the configurations. Quickly go through walk through that particular configurations. So assigning unit, the business function that we have already gone through, and that is a manage facilities. Let's go with the manage facilities. Search with that manage facilities. Go to task icon, select that, search with the A to Z, right? Search it down. So A to Z, that is I have created this A to Z. So that is A to Z regular shift I have provided, and the code I has given RGR, and that is starting time is at 10 and the duration is 9 hours, the profit from working, and the 7 hours is the ending time, right? It will be a punch, and in time, that is that you give in day, starting date, and the duration and the hour, right? So that is minute of the break out there, provides the minute out break and the maximum break hours, and then save and close, right? So that manage shift I have created, and after the shift it will be you will create a workday pattern, right? So go to the workday pattern, go to the task icon, let me search with A to Z, right? Search it down, so you can see the, if I edit this one, so out here this is my A to Z regular working day pattern I created with the 5 days working, and I assign my shift out here, right? Here starting date and ending date is 5, and the shift name I have provided out here, right? And done with that. After and I will provide this manage facility schedules. Go to this one, let me search A to Z, search it down. So out here the edit this one. So this is A to Z regular time schedule I created, the working out here, and the effective start date, that will provide the effective start date and the effective date, right? So you have to provide the to effective date and the type that I selected 4445, right? That is 4 week and 5 week. That period I have selected, it was active, and the first day of the week starts from my Monday, and I will provide that particular workday pattern assigned out here in this particular schedule, and save and close. Okay, so after providing this, to manage item organization, that will be my virtual organization, or say it will be a virtual organization. Okay, so go to this task, manage item organization, search with the operation, right? 00, search it down. So this operation organization, where you define the operations organization as using the item management, right? So that is item management it is using, and it is not associated with any business unit, or say a primary ledger or legal entity, right? So that is a master org, it is your master org, that is operation, and the group behavior will be a definition organization, and save and close, right? After that, we have to select the manage locations. We have already gone through, we have created a one location for business unit, another one for our warehouse, right? So that is manage inventory. Go to the manage inventory, search at that manage inventory. So this will be the child inventory, right? This will be a child inventory. Go to task icon, search with the our org name, that is 501, right? That is 501, select that 501, search. So this is the A to Z New York warehouse, right? The warehouse 01, you can see this is the one of the location, warehouse 01, and this is my business unit, and this is my attached to my US ledger, that is primary ledger, and the legal entity, right? And this will be internal. If I go to the next one, so it will be operation my master org, right? So that will be behavior I am used as a reference organization, right? So individually I can provide the details in the reference organization, and the definition I will use from operation 1. And out here I have provided the schedule, that is the time schedule we have created. That's why we have created the schedule, and it is a mandatory field, right? And the enable the inventory track by country origin, right? And enable that one, and allow negative balances, allow negative on hand transaction, I have also enabled that, right? And then save and close. And there is a one more inventory organization 502, let me search, that is your California warehouse, that is 502 NZ 502. This is my location 2, that is California location, attached to this particular business unit A to Z BU1, with the my primary ledger is A to Z US group and the legal entity. And if I go next, So this is the definition organization, right? One is using the reference, and this will be a definition organization. That is, when you assign anything in the operational out here, it will copy that one, right? So that will be the definition organization, and the time schedule is the same, right? And save and close, right? Done with that. Then procurement business unit, configure your procurement business unit. Go to the procurement business unit, go to task icon, procurement business unit, select your business unit. So go to task icon, say OK. So that payment terms, and you assign your inventory organization out here. This is the inventory organization I have assigned to this particular business unit, right? So this business unit is default organization is my E to Z New York warehouse, right? So that is shipping, the payment terms, these details I have enabled, right? And save and close. Right, after providing the configuration, that in the requisition business function, select, go to task icon, select your business unit, A to Z US. So you will select the default delivery, that is my default delivery, and the line type. In the line type it should be goods, requesting import by item, right? Group behavior should be item, creating the order immediately after requisition import, right? And default procurement, that is my default procurement, and this shipping address will be this, right? That will be related to my business unit 1, right? And save and close. And after the receiving parameters, go to the receiving parameters, say manage receiving parameters, search with the manage receiving parameters, go to task icon, manage receiving parameters, select your organization, that is 501, say OK. So with this parameter, inventory organization, the receipt date exceed, if it is exceed, then it will want receipt over receipt, it will want routing method, it is using the standard. There is a direct method, inspection, and the standard. I selected the standard method, and out here the receipt number, how the receipt number going to be generated, whether it is a manual or the automatic. I select the automatic, and it will be a numeric one. And the what will be the next number will start with a 1001, right? And the return material authorization, RMA, that will be a receipt routing method, will be my standard receipt method. Okay, and save and close. Similar to that, I have also receiving parameters. Let me change the organization, let's say 502. Let me check with that. So warning, it has been given, so it is number start with the 501 standard method, and the receipt number will be start from 501, right? Save and close. Right. And the procurement agent, now you will create a manage procurement agent. So go to the manage procurement agent out here, go to task icon. So yeah, we have already gone through this particular one, right? Procurement agent already done, right? In the common, right? Manage buyer assignment rules, go to the manage buyer assignment rules, select that. In the purchasing, go to the assignment rule out here, go to task icon. Let me search with the search with that. Here we are. So that is the rule, default, the business unit, and the delivery organization. That will be my warehouse 1. and it will be in USD. The procurement BU is my A to Z US1 business unit, and the buyer, that is Steve Jobs, right? So this is the buyer, Steve Jobs, right? So that assign this one. Then we will create manage accounting rules, right? So that is manage accounting rules. Search with that, manage accounting rules. Let me go to the procurement, right? Go to the procurement, go to task icon, that is accounting, manage accounting rules, right? Manage accounting rules. So we created a manage accounting rules, that is purchase search with the fin admin, I think so, that is created by yeah. So this is the purchasing accrual accounting rule, right? So that is purchase accounting rule, that is we created that with the A to Z group, right? So that is one accrual account with the constant value I have provided, right? And the constant value, the rules, the short name I provided, the description, so chart of account I selected, and the rule type is a accounting combination. You got account rule you can create, you can have a constant value, you can create a mapping set, and with the mapping set you can derive the rules, right? So that mapping set, and you can have a source. So I've used the constant with the value providing constant, and the condition I am not provided any condition. You can provide the condition with various condition you can provide. So as a simple I will go with that. So that is a constant rule I have provided. Then save and close. Let me cancel, it is already active. Go to the accrual rule, purchasing accrual rule. This is not my rule. Yeah, just a minute. This one, purchase charge account. So this is A to Z, right? So that A to Z rule. So purchase charge account rule, same, we will provide out here the constant value, right? And save and close. Right. Let me go to this fin purchase destination account. Similar out here, the you provide the names, destination short name, in the description with the chart of accounts at A to Z group, and the account combination as the constant value. Similarly, we will have a destination variance account. So this is the destination variance account, that 5 accounts you had to provide, that is constant value I have already taken. And this is my purchasing variance account, that is you got purchase accrual, you got a purchase charge account, you got a destination purchase destination account, you got purchase destination variance account, that is related to your intercompany, and this is related to your purchase variance account, right? So that is a variance account, you want to capture that. So purchase variance account, so PO variance related you will capture from this particular constant value, and you will assign to your transaction accounting definition, right? Transaction accounting definition, go to task icon. So this is the E to Z purchase transaction accounting definition, the TAD, this accrual account, the name you provide, the short name you provide your chart of accounts, and this is my transaction account type, that is accrual, charge, destination variance, and variance account. Accordingly, account code combination rules I have assigned accordingly, and turn into active status as an active out here. You can see the active out here. If let me cancel that. Do you want to leave the pages changing loss to the yes? So it should be active, status should be active, then only you will able to assign to your subledger, right? So that is the last one, is the manage subledger, or that is subledger accounting options. Go to task icon, So go to task icon, let me go to the procurement one, go to task icon, so go to task, pull up your ledger. So this is my ledger, right? Select that, search the ledger, search with the purchasing, right? Purchasing, to go to the account option. So out here I provided my transactional accounting definition, which I grouped my 5 accounts, right? So that account has been assigned out here, and I had changed that grouping behavior, that is journal entry summarized by group by general date, right? So date wise it will, and enable the posting from subledger, then save and close, right? Done that. So manage inventory and locators, go to the manage inventory and locators, search with the inventory and locators. We are already gone through that in my session. So go to the sub inventory locators. So these are the locators. This is my related to my inventory of 502. Let me change, and 501, right? Let me search with the 501, say okay. So you got a, just a minute, five zero two one, just a minute. You can see that 2 sub inventories I have created, right? So that is a one New York's 1 and 2, right? That is 2 warehouse sub inventories are there. So as the locators, right? If you go to this manage locators, you can view the locators out here, right? So that locators I have created, right? The 2 locators similar to the manage to this second sub inventory, that is 1 locator is there, right? So let me say done with that. And then item classes, manage item classes, manage item classes, go to task icon, go to this manage item classes. So go to the item classes, under the root we have created a engine, right? Let me with search with the engine out here. Here we are, search with the engine out here. Under the engine you got a engine block, right? This, let me go to this one. Here we are. These are the engine, right? So this is the engine. So in this one you can enable, it is enabled, but you can't create item on under this under the engine. Let me expand a little bit. So let me go to this engine out here, go to the engine. You can see the carburetor and the engine block, right? So that is how we created that particular yesterday session. We have seen that in the previous session, we have gone through that particular one, right? So then we will provide the user with these rules related to, this is related to your warehouse related activity, that is your inventory related activity, and these are the rules related to your P2P cycle, that is buyer rules, supplier manager rules, supplier administrator to create the supplier, procurement requester, advanced procurement rules, and the procurement preparer, and the procurement manager. These rules are required for P2P cycle, and we assign the rule with the data access related to your security context as a business unit, and then we submitted the LDAP job. So that's it for today, and thanks for joining this webinar on on get started with Oracle supply chain and manufacturing. Thank you.